to imbue the Sims inside of the program with all of the human traits that we possess now.
Correct. Not only our human traits, but the world.
But the world.
The world itself.
Right.
Hey, man. How you guys doing? Hey, man. So let's switch it up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you've seen in the title of the video, man. Are we in a simulation? Is it the fucking Matrix for real? You know what I'm saying? Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's actually it's kind of funny. He got me interested in the whole astrophysics thing, you know, the whole space. Got me, you know, I love the aliens all my whole life and shit like that. Aliens, clowns, all that weird shit. I dig it, man. You know what I'm saying? But he got me interested in, like, understanding space and how fucking we are so connected with it and everything else, right? So it's kind of cool. And then started watching that other fella there, Professor Brian Cox, and he's kind of fun, dude. And he's kind of more like straight on it, as opposed to Neil makes jokes and makes it funny. And then I found Astro Alexandra, and she makes it so idiots can understand it too. You know what I mean? And she's just fun to watch. But Neil is like number one for me. And, well, he's going to talk to us about he's going to explain the whole simulation thing. Because I've heard him say that it can't be, you know what I mean? It's a possibility that can't be unproven. But, yeah, so I'm kind of interested in hear what he has to say about this, man. So let's check it out, shall we?
Chuck, I've been public on the fact that I'm waiting for someone to convince me that we don't live in a simulation.
I've heard you say it.
The arguments put forth have been quite convincing to me. And most of the best arguments are traceable to a guy named Nick Bostrom, a philosopher at the University of Oxford.
Okay.
Here's the argument. Ready?
Go ahead.
Our computing power is growing rapidly.
Right.
We create simulations of worlds. We have video games with characters that are inside the video game.
Right.
Imagine a day where you can simulate a world so perfectly with life forms, humans, so well that you can recreate every single neurosynaptic thought you could have, but now you're in the simulation on the computer.
So,
including the perception of free will.
Well, there you have it. Because so now you would have enough computing power to imbue the Sims inside of the program with all of the human traits that we possess now.
Correct. Not only our human traits, but the world.
But the world.
The world itself.
Right.
And you don't have to have all the world existing there at all times.
Right.
That might be an unrealistic amount of computing power.
Right.
You just need
enough of the world that they see around them.
That they see around them.
Right.
So you want to start digging, and
that's so funny.
And haven't put the Earth there. There's a flag that goes up in the programmer, and they say, need more Earth. So they put Earth beneath you while you can keep digging.
It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah, well, for example.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
Or does Minecraft, you can build
or
stuff.
Minecraft.
Right.
Oh, that is Minecraft.
Right. Okay.
God.
Okay. I had a thought, and it floated out of my head. The fucking joys of post-stroke brain. Fuck, maybe if I roll back here a little bit, he'll fucking say something and clicks it again. Here we go. Fucking
flag that goes up in the programmer, and they say, need more Earth. So they put Earth beneath you while you can keep digging.
It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah, well, for example. Okay.
Cool.
Or does Minecraft, you can build
or
stuff.
Minecraft.
Right.
Oh, that is Minecraft.
Right. Okay.
God, that guy's a brilliant genius. Okay.
So, and we went to the moon. They said, okay, let's make sure the moon is there.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe that's why we can't travel faster than the speed of light. Because if we could, we'd be able to get to another galaxy
before they could program
that galaxy. So much fun.
So the programmer put in that limit.
Put in the limit.
Because that's the fastest they can get.
We can't program fast enough. So we put in a limiter. The speed of light is a limiter so that you can't get to the next thing before we build it.
All right, so let me finish. That's good. That's good, Chuck.
All right.
So let me finish this. So now that world evolves and they develop computing power.
Right.
And they say, we want to play video games.
So now we're going to make a world.
So then they make a world and they have sufficient computing power that they invent to create a whole universe within their computers.
Okay.
And then
They
do
make
that.
a world.
That's where I remember now. They talk about the computers. Aren't they like making these quantum computers now that like can like do things like so fast that it's just like ridiculous? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Are we getting to the point where we're fixing to make the next shits? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's very interesting. I mean, do I believe it? I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But it's fun to fucking think about, isn't it? Here we go.
They make a world, and they have sufficient computing power that they invent
Right.
to create a whole universe within their computers.
Okay.
And then
They
do
make
that.
a world.
And then they make a world all the way on down.
Right.
It could be hundreds, thousands, billions, infinite.
All right. So far, this sounds like it still works.
That's fine. So now close your eyes, throw a dart.
Mm.
Which of these universes are you going to land in? The first one that's real or the gazillion that are not?
Well, yeah.
Just statistically. Okay.
Am I drinking when we're playing the starts game? Because
Because then you missed entirely
everything. No.
So
yeah,
there's
no,
something called Bayesian statistics where you're allowed to introduce information that you already have available to you, even if you didn't measure it to be true. So we establish the likelihood that one day we'll have the power to do this.
Right.
And then that factors into these statistics.
Okay.
So there's 1 in a zillion, you're the real universe, and 999 zillion to 1 that
you're a simulation.
simulation. That convinced me. And I don't want to be convinced. I didn't like it. And I was just begging for somebody to give me an argument that was cogent enough to undermine that entire reasoning. And I just came across one.
Uh-oh. Who? Okay.
Okay. It's a good friend of mine, Rich Gott.
All right.
He was a colleague of mine back when I was at Princeton.
All right.
Deep thinker, likes calculating the ends of things
Nice.
with Bayesian statistics. He's heavily quoted in this book, The Doomsday Calculation. And William Poundstone is a smart guy unto himself. And I am now convinced.
Now you're convinced.
Are you ready?
Okay, go ahead.
What do all these So here is what convinced me we are not in a simulation.
Okay.
Are you seated?
All right. I'm seated.
Are you hold on.
I'm going to hold.
Okay. All right. What do all those simulated universes have in common?
They're simulations.
They have the power to simulate
That's
themselves.
what I'm saying. They're
No,
simulations.
they have the power to simulate themselves.
Right. Oh, okay. Yes.
That's what they all have in common.
make a simulation.
They have that power.
Right. Exactly.
To simulate themselves exactly. Do we have that power now?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Which means that we can't send it. We can't send ourselves into the future as a simulation
Because we don't have that
can't-
power yet.
So we can't continue the chain.
Wait, so either we are the real one,
right,
or we're the one in the chain that's still evolving to try to then make a simulation within their own world.
Quantum computers. See, we are like the last connection in the chain to evolve to be able to make the simulation. I don't know why I just did that thing. That was weird. That was fucking weird. Here we go.
We are the real one,
right,
or we're the one in the chain that's still evolving to try to then make a simulation within their own world.
Right.
So the odds of us being a simulation goes from a gazillion to 1. I mean, to the likelihood of a gazillion, all right?
It flips.
It flips 50-50.
Wow.
And I'm good with that. That changes my life completely.
Yeah.
Okay? And no longer are your kids going to say, Dad, it doesn't matter. We're in a simulation anyway. No, you got an argument. You have a rebuttal.
Exactly.
Now, a quick one.
I have to do my homework.
I go, ready?
Go ahead.
Maybe these simulators have a side activity where they like reminiscing about days before you could simulate. That would be us.
So now we're Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong or Pong.
We're classic.
Yeah.
Classic gameplay.
So maybe we're just entertainment, like a historical exercise.
Right.
That's possible in principle. However, let's look at our own conduct with that regard.
Okay.
All right, think of a movie as a simulation, just for the sake of this conversation, which it kind of is.
Kind of is.
Ask yourself, how many movies have been made in a time before we ever knew how to make movies, relative to movies made in the era where we know how to make movies. You can do the numbers. It's small.
Wait, what? What the fuck did he just say about movies? How are you going to have movies that were made before we made movies?
With that regard.
Okay.
All right, think of a movie as a simulation, just for the sake of
Which
this
it kinda
conversation,
is.
which it kind of
Kinda
is.
is.
Ask yourself, how many movies have been made in a time before we ever knew how to make movies, relative to movies made in the era where we know how to make movies? You can do the numbers. It's small. Yes,
sure.
the Spartacus, there's the OK Corral.
Three Musketeers.
Those exist.
That type of stuff.
Okay?
Okay.
If we are any measure of the incentives of creating simulations, which all we can do with movies at this point, then they might have some historical, but there's way more interesting things and stories to tell in the era of simulations that exist post-simulation.
Right. And yeah.
So even if there are some period pieces that we might be, still most of these would be universes made after they could simulate themselves.
Right.
If our movie making habits are any indication of anything.
So the chances are we're not a little offshoot, like a little
Statistically.
side project.
We could be, just statistically, it's
Probably
not likely.
not. Right.
Because we're throwing darts.
Right.
And most of the stories they're going to simulate are going to be the ones that are in the era of the time they could simulate themselves.
So that still brings us back to we're probably either the first or we're on our way to being the next.
On our way to being the next. That's
Right.
correct.
One or the other.
That's more likely than any other possibility here.
Wow.
And so I can now rest well at night.
So no simulation.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm real. I think you're real. I think we're good.
Well, real recognize real. So yes.
I forgot about that expression. Real recognize real.
Real recognize real.
You
So
got
there
it.
you go.
Chuck, fist
Yeah.
bump on
Boom,
that.
boom.
StarTalk.
Yeah.
Signing out.
That was fun. That was fun. That's always fun to do just something goofy once in a while. You know what I'm saying? And Neil deGrasse Tyson's fun, man. That was entertaining. Fucking. But it would be weird if we was in a simulation. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know that we're in a simulation. But I've always wondered this. You know, they say there's black holes, right? Sucks everything in, right? Well, things fall into it or whatever, right? Okay. Then they say that, well, where's everything go? Where's it go? It goes in, but then they're saying that there's some radiation, that nothing comes out. But now they're saying that some radiation comes back out of the black hole. But what if, like, when things fall into the black hole, it goes out and gets spit out into a different universe? You know what I'm saying? And, like, maybe that's, like, the Big Bang. Or like I was watching a thing with that Brian Cox feller, and he was talking about black holes colliding and how it's like the most violent thing to happen in the universe, you know. What if, and it's like when those happen, the burst of energy is like equal to the Big Bang is what something like that he was saying, right? What if that was the Big Bang? You know what I'm saying? What if everything that falls into these black holes, right, just hangs out? It's just like the magical bags in D&D, man. The infinite bags. You can just store shit in there for like, oh, I got a castle here. Just let me put it in my bag. You know what I mean? I'm fucking exaggerating, obviously, but you know what I'm saying? And then when they collide. Like when galaxies collide and black holes hit each other and all that fucking violence and everything else and the impact and that energy release makes a new universe. I don't know. Kind of goofy, weird shit. Fucking space is wild and but it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? And hey, we're fucking when you look up, you know, when you're looking up there at night, you know, I know it's easy to go, wow, it's just so huge. But just think about this, man. We're made up. It was fucking the carbon atoms that we have in us can be traced back to stars. So never let nothing or anybody dim your fucking shine, man. I absolutely love you guys, man. Everything for StarTalk is in the description. I hope you have fun with me. If you did, hit my subscribe, drop a like, and a comment. I'll catch you on the next one, man. Love you.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
I forgot about that expression. Real recognize real.
Real recognize real.
You
So
got
there
it.
you go.
Chuck, fist
Yeah.
bump on
Boom,
that.
boom.
StarTalk.
Yeah.
Signing out.